I'm John Schell. In 2021, the music program at the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Athens was just really starting to take off. You can see the initiative starting to build. The membership in the choir was growing. We had acquired not only a number of singers, but people who were good quality singers and who had good musical skills and being able to read and sight read music, which is a really important skill in a choir. At the same time, there was a lot of congregational support. Several surveys that were sent out at the time, probably with the fundraising and so forth at the time, indicated a strong support for a more creative music approach to the music program and the fellowship. And the musicians all wanted to enhance the congregational singing. That was one of the things that we thought was important, and that we thought that the worship services at the fellowship should be a bit more music oriented, and that we wanted to support social justice and social action through the music that we were singing. So those things were great, and it was a really positive environment for growth. But we had two problems. One, we didn't have any dynamic leadership that really was capable of taking the program to the next level, and we didn't have any money to pay for it. But putting cart before the horse, we struck out on faith and said that we need to find someone who can be that dynamic leader that we need. So in the summer of 2001, we advertised. We put an advertisement in the Flagpole magazine. Many of you are familiar with the Flagpole. And we put announcements on the bulletin board at the UGA School of Music. All of that over time resulted in 3 applicants, and of course Amber was the leading one. She came in with a resume that included a bachelor's in music, a master's degree in ethnomusicology from the University of Chicago, and I must admit I wasn't quite sure what ethnomusicology was at the time, but over time I really learned to appreciate the importance of the cultural influence in the music program that Amber has brought through that approach to music. Amber had one other really strong credential. She had taught elementary school children, and that was a really strong skill set for teaching our choir. But problem number 2 was we didn't have any money in the budget. So after some special appeals, some fundraising, and I don't remember all of those details now, but eventually we found enough to make an offer to Amber that she would accept. And we had collected very strong recommendations. She had gone through a series of interviews with administration, minister, and others, and had a very successful audition with the music community and the choir. And after the culmination of all those events, we recommended Amber to the board. And that is how the story of Amber started. We are truly lucky to have her musicality. We are truly lucky to have the quality of person that Amber is. And we are really grateful for the critical role that she makes in making the UUFA the fellowship in the community that it is. Amber, thank you very much for all that you contribute and all the love that you have given to us.
Thank you, Myrna and Rosemary, for inviting me to share some comments about my time with Amber and the wonderful gift that she's been to the UU Fellowship of Athens for 20 years. Hard to believe that. I want to share a little bit of the history. we were looking for a music director, and as everyone knows, I can't carry a tune. So the music committee sent John Shell to interview Amber. He came back so excited about what a wonderful person she would be as a music director. Well, she is a professional, and so she expected a professional salary, which wasn't in the budget for that year. Interestingly, we were changing our fiscal year at the time, and it was a short fiscal year. And Janet Pomeroy and I sat down and said, well, if we can get this much money from here and this much money from here, we're only $1,500 short, which is what I told the board. And the board decided to take a risk that she would be so wonderful and influential that we would make the budget the next year with her salary, which is, of course, what happened and has continued to happen over the last 20 years. One of my original concerns about working with Amber had nothing to do with Amber, really. It was that the last row of choir members, men, you know who you are, were sort of rowdy during choir practice. And I wondered if someone as young and sweet as Amber would be able to deal with this group of committed choir members who liked to joke around. Well, I needn't have worried. I mean, she whooped them into shape and had them singing and participating very quickly. One of the things in the early years was the risers. The risers had been built, I don't know how many years before. I'm not quite sure who all built them. I'm sure Walt Brown was in on it, probably Stu Force and a bunch of other people. And by the time I got there, and by the time Amber got there, they were real rickety. Like you could fall through the risers if they weren't pushed together well enough. So it so happened that Cliff Hoffman's family wanted to make a donation in memory of him and thought something in the sanctuary would be good. So I asked them for a big chunk of money, to build a chancel area and a choir loft and a ramp, because bless Chris Kirk, he was in the choir at the time and it was really hard to pick up his wheelchair. And with some generous donations from some other folks, I know that a number of people contributed. That wonderful chancel area and choir loft was built to have 40 people in the choir and to have the pulpit up where people in the back could see the minister. So that was something very exciting. And I think if we had not had such a wonderful professional music director, I'm not sure that would have been accomplished. But Amber was there leading people into new visions for what the music program could accomplish. One of my fondest and dearest memories of my time in Athens was the ministry that we had with Chris Kirk. And it was so wonderful that the choir and Amber worked in such a caring way with Chris, and that wonderful concert with opera music. So Chris, for the first time in his life, could sing opera. And I know it was a lot of hard work and it was a challenge, but it was such a testimony to a loving community and what we can mean to people who need us. I think one of the things that is so wonderful about Amber is the way she brings out people's gifts. Now, in my case, it was more that I needed to learn from her to learn about the different hymns and what would work. And it was always a pleasure for me that she would sit down with me and help me select hymns. And that would also help her figure out what the choir was going to learn too. But definitely Amber has a way of finding what's not only in your voice, but what's in your heart and bringing that out. So I think one of the things that the last 20 years has probably shown, I haven't been there obviously all those years, is that the choir really is an important community within the community of UUFA. And I hope that Amber found UUFA a wonderful community where she could raise her family with lots of caring aunts and uncles to support her. It was absolutely a joy and a pleasure working with Amber for the years that I was there. And blessings on you, Amber, for these wonderful 20 years. How could we have gotten this old? So thank you for being part of my life, Amber, and thank you for helping make UUFA such a special place. Blessings.
Amber, on the 20th anniversary of your service at UUFA, I want to congratulate you for all you've done for us and for the many gifts that you bring to us. It's not unusual that someone with talent leads the choir, but it is unusual that someone with talent not only leads and sings, but that you give us leadership in so many different ways. I'm reminded that many times there's been someone in the choir who's had a issue going on in their lives, and you've alerted those of us on the pastoral care team so that we might be aware and take appropriate action. So in a way, it's like you have your own little church, and we get to help you with it. But the blessing that you bring to us each time you sing, each time you coax such beautiful music out of a bunch of amateurs, I just marvel. And I am so impressed that I want to take this opportunity to let you know how important you and your ministry of music are to me personally. I have close to no talent myself, but I do know good music when I hear it. And I know that it's not just the music, but I know it's your personality, your caring for other people, and your willingness to work with the staff, sometimes a staff that changes. Um, my own relationship with the fellowship is as a community minister. And I'm aware that over the years you've worked with 4 other ministers, starting with Terry Bailoff, um, Dave Johnson, Allison Eskelson, and now Liesl Schwartz. And I've just seen you be so accommodating and work in a smooth, supportive manner with so many ministers. And I'm also aware of the work you've done with some of the children. And I want you to know how much I appreciate that. So I hope we have many more years of your presence among us to enjoy. Thank you very much.
Hi, Amber. Me and Gabriel and Jessica here just want to wish you congratulations on 20 years at UUFA as the music director. I have so many fond memories from my tenure there, and I have to say, to this day, you're probably my favorite boss I've ever had. You never really felt like a boss. I mean, you were a boss, but you weren't my boss, if you know what I'm saying. I learned so much from you, not only about music and fellowship and all the things that you did in your position, but just about life and friendship. And so, right as the cat ruins the picture,
Sorry.
I just want to wish you congratulations and say how lucky I think UUFA is to have had you for so long and to still have you. So enjoy this momentous occasion. You've earned it.
I wish you all the same, and the babies too.
Amber, when I arrived at the fellowship in 2010, it didn't take me long to realize that I had a very plum settlement. I not only fell in love with the fellowship, in part because it was such a healthy congregation and everybody was ready for some change, but I also quickly grew to appreciate you and all of your gifts. I couldn't have asked for a better person to collaborate with, to be a colleague, and to put creative heads together to create wonderful worship experiences for the fellowship. You were willing to try some of my crazy ideas, like when I asked the choir to process in with black sock puppets singing to When the Ants Come Marching In. You were game for that. When I thought up having a Greek chorus and having the choir members voice asides or commentary in the middle of my sermon, throughout my sermon, you were game to try that. You were game for so many ideas that I really appreciated your willingness. One of the other things that you brought to our worship was your own creative ideas. You offered ideas that enhanced the spiritual and emotional value of our services. Music, it was an important part of worship. Some ministers may think that the sermon is all it's about, but I know that's not it. And I know the music ministry is the heart of much of worship. One of the other things that you had, which I found valuable, was all your deep connections to the UU Musicians Network, as it's formally called. You brought new music and new songs to our congregation, and that kept us from being stuck in singing 100-year-old songs. You also encouraged members to expand their own musical gifts, and particularly in writing new songs, new hymns for us, as well as allowing people to perform, such as in our bands. And I know Paul has something he wants to add to that comment.
So, hey, Amber, and all of our dear Athens friends. Just a quick word of thanks, love, and appreciation for Amber's many years of wonderful service and musical leadership for our UU community in Athens. It was truly one of the pleasures of my life to sing in the choir with Amber and many of you during our 10 years in Athens. What a gift to experience the joy and spirit and fun and the wonderful music that Amber has created and fostered. Her gentle but inspired directing, her consistently creative musical experimentation, her encouragement, and her love wasn't as a gift to us all. So thank you, Amber. You are a treasure.
Amber, I imagine that you may feel awkward over hearing all of these wonderful accolades, but they are well deserved. It is a testament to your service that we enjoyed so many years together. Amber, I congratulate you on meeting this milestone. I'm sure there will be more in the years to come. And I'm also confident that you are going to meet and greet the next minister to come to the fellowship, the next settled minister to come to the fellowship, with the same warmth and creativity that you met me when I came to Athens. So thank you for our years together. Thank you for the friendship that you provided and the invaluable service that you gave to the fellowship during my time. So blessings to you and to your family, and hopefully you will do well in the years to come. Thank you.
Amber, happy 20 years at UUFA. I feel so honored that I got to share some of that time with you. I know that my 5 years flew by because we were having so much fun with me reading your mind at rehearsals, our coffee get-togethers, and our trips to the mountain. It was all unforgettable. But during my time there, you were more than just the perfect boss. You were an inspiration to me as a musician. You were a trusted mentor, and you were always there for me as a good friend to celebrate my highest highs and to comfort me during my lowest lows. UUFA and Athens are so lucky to have you, and I am so lucky that I got to be part of your 20 years. Congratulations, happy 20 years, and I can't wait to see you again soon.
Working with a good music director is a way for ministers and congregations to really let their little light shine. Working with a great music director like Amber Fetner lets the light shine just a little bit bigger. Amber is joyous and thoughtful. She's fun and collaborative and takes authority where she needs to, because she's got the right stuff. Amber turns our little light into a shining beacon of joyous music ministry. Thanks, Amber.
20 years. Congratulations. I've had a good time so far, these last two, and I'm looking forward to making more good music with you, Amber. Congrats.